just when you thought the 435i couldn't get any better, in this video, I'm putting some insanely awesome mods on. Now, a majority of these mods took months to get in, so this will be shot over a span of probably about 4.5 months. Ladies and gentlemen, more cosmetic mods are here. And actually, this video is again gonna be one of those that's very, very long and time consuming because not everything's here. Aesthetically, this car looks amazing. However, one thing for certain is to know that the roof needs to be black. Hear me out. I bought black vinyl wrap from Amazon. It should do the trick. You shouldn't really need anything like super expensive. Granted, it probably would work a lot better, but I also don't know how to wrap. This will be my first time ever wrapping something. I have to wrap it around the antenna. So off camera, I've already cleaned the entire roof. Now, again, I don't know how to wrap, so this will be the first time where I'm using, I think they call it knifeless tape. So listen, I'm going to save you all from the misery of my mistakes. Obviously, if you wrap yourself and you already know how to, you're probably already thinking to yourself, this dude has no idea what he's doing, which would be totally correct. So let's just skip past this and I'm going to show you guys my attempt to wrap the roof black. Yeah, I would say this is a massive failure. I melted it a little bit too much over here, and as you can see, it melted right through the wrap. This is hard. I don't know the best way to go about it because obviously I'm going with that too. So it's like it's not just a full flat piece. So let's just say that it was an absolute epic fail, which I did expect because it was my first time ever wrapping anything, let alone just a roof. Now I did a second try off camera and it turned out a little bit better, but I think it was actually the vinyl wrap that I had bought from Amazon that was not the greatest. It kept bubbling up, it kept getting scratched, and it kept melting and it kept getting ruined. So I honestly just totally gave up on the whole black roof idea. But like I said, guys, this is over a span of 4.5 months worth of mods that are coming and going. This next one, it's subtle, but it still changes the car a ton. The next day has arrived and I got something to replace the grills because as grand as gloss black things are, I think that if you can do carbon fiber, depending on like what it is, I'm a huge advocate for carbon fiber. I think it looks absolutely insane. It makes cars look 10 times better. Can you go overkill? Absolutely, but that's where you have to determine what's best. Now, these are definitely gonna stay. Believe it or not, I got these on Alibaba and it cost me $80. If you had gotten these from any other website, it probably would have cost $200 or $300. This is what it is. So it's gloss black inserts with carbon fiber on the outside. I think it looks absolutely freaking amazing. See, from here, it looks like there's no difference. But as we get closer, oh my god, I think it actually makes the car look so much better. What I have here today is this. I know it's end performance, not really end performance, but it's like just a gas cap cover, carbon fiber from Alibaba. Is like 20 bucks. So I got that. Nobody's really gonna ever see it except for me. And then a new mass airflow sensor. Now, I got the hot wire one. I also think my mass airflow sensor is done because I'm still having the code of the air mass plausibility being too high. I don't find any boost leaks, so yeah. Also, off camera, I put in a new battery, and it seems like all the codes pretty much got taken care of. Truthfully, it's the little things that make the subtlest differences but make the biggest impacts. This video has literally gone on for 3 months. If everything's making sense so far, awesome, but if it's not, I'm really sorry. Fortunately, the two biggest things and basically the last cosmetic mods that I ever want to do to this car are on their way. So hopefully within the next week and a half, they should be here, but something super quick, or should be super quick and easy to install, is a strut brace. So from Racing Dynamics, I have a custom, okay, let's just say this. It's custom just for the clickbait, but it's not really custom. Engine strut brace. And honestly, you might be asking yourself, like, what exactly does this do in terms of benefits? Well, if you're a casual driver, nothing. It's another thing to make the engine bay look really cool. But if you take fast corners, obviously you want to upgrade sway bars. And I'm not going to upgrade sway bars because that's dropping the entire subframe and doing all that BS. So that's never going to happen on this car, or probably any car, unless I'm tracking it. But for somebody who goes maybe around the corners a little bit faster than what there should be, this is actually really good. So again, from Racing Dynamics, this is a an engine strut bar. Purpose is to reduce the chassis flex, which again, for the casual driver, are you gonna notice it? No. So for anyone that's wondering, on an F3X chassis, you do actually have one that is already OEM. You don't really need to upgrade it because no one's gonna ever see it, and that's actually right under here. So this one essentially goes on these 3 bolts. And those are really hot. We do probably have to take out some of them, especially this guy here, maybe. Again, you're probably not gonna feel it. Let's put this guy on. It's a quick and simple upgrade. I think it's just 13 millimeter nuts or something like that. Torque to like maybe 25 Newton meters. It's nothing much. Honestly, we're not even gonna torque it professionally. We're just gonna torque it to tighten it, and that's it. Now this is probably one of the easiest mods to do because again, these 13 millimeter nuts that are for the strut, they're actually only torqued to about 25 Newton meters. So they're super easy to get out and super easy to put back in. Obviously, when you're putting them back in, just finger tighten them first and then so on and so forth. But something you'll notice is that the strut bar lifts above the engine block about 2 to 3 inches. Now that is completely normal, and yes, you do have enough space to where the hood can close properly. So now that it's all tightened, torqued to spec, I just want to show you guys what exactly I mean by kind of how great a strut bar is, especially when you're taking corners a little bit faster than you should. So watch this, okay? This is obviously gonna be common sense, but if you do this, right, I'm just gonna pull and just move it back and forth. You can maybe see the car fully moving. Well, after a month and a half waiting, my carbon fiber fenders have arrived. These guys, custom made. I'm hoping that they fit, obviously. I'm very, very excited. So they got actual working vents to them. It's literally full carbon fiber. I'm really scared to even like get anything on it. These things are incredibly light. So I did actually get these off eBay. Luckily the seller was very polite and very trustworthy and helpful with all this stuff. This is so fucking sweet. Bro, they look so much better in person. He sent me photos of them, but this is insane. Look at how aggressive that looks. Full carbon fiber fender. Holy crap. One thing I could possibly say as a tip is to definitely take off the wheel when you're doing the fender. It'll give you a lot more space to work with, especially since you have 2 8mm bolts that go straight from the front bumper into the fender itself. Actually, I think it goes to the chassis as well. So there's a bunch of 8mm nuts around, and then you also have to take out the fender liner, which kind of sucks, but it makes things a whole lot easier. After that, there's about a 10mm nut or a 13mm nut, and there's about 6 or 7 of them that hold the fender on. Now, another good thing to note is that you do and should probably take the entire side skirt off, because there is a bolt that is under there, and the only way to actually get it and actually get the fender out is to unlatch the side skirt. This bracket here, these clips go into the bottom part of the fender. Another way to get this guy off is by these hooks here, which you can really only get from the inside and take your arm down, and then you gotta screw here. Now this is an advanced carbon fiber modification. It's not like your simple front splitter or your rear spoiler or a diffuser. What you have to do for these guys is mock it up first, because more than likely 99.9% of the time you're gonna have to drill new holes. Now these new holes are in place where brackets are, so it's not like you have to make a new bracket, but you do have to make new holes. Okay, drilled it. You know, honestly, fitment is pretty freaking OEM. Just when you guys are doing this, make sure you're hand tightening these first, which obviously is pretty much a given. This kind of got cracked a little bit up here, so I had to do some epoxy welding there. Here's where I'm a little concerned. You can see that these screws are no longer here, so all the air is just going to go through here. So yeah, they're aftermarket carbon fiber fenders, which means that there's probably going to be some brackets and screws that you're no longer going to need or be able to use. But you can see that I'm a little worried because of the rocks that could potentially go through the entire fender. Now you're probably thinking, how long did this take? Well, since I've never done body paneling before, it took me a really long time, but check it out. Sorry, I had to tease y'all just a little bit. You're not going to see the full thing until the hood gets on. This is supposedly the carbon fiber hood that I've waited 4 months for. I've never received a car part even like this. This is with like a 1/4-inch plywood all the way around. Little door here, I'm assuming this is just so that when you're actually taking this thing out from the bottom, it doesn't create like a vacuum, so you just push this out. But the carbon fiber hood should be right in here. Look, man, I struggled with the unboxing of this hood, so check it out when it's fully unboxed. I'm all good. That's freaking cool. Look at this hood. Dude, this thing is freaking insane. Now, granted, a 4-month wait, a little unacceptable. I do kind of wish this was a little bit smaller. Like, it only went to here. But dude, that's badass. Holy. And just like the fenders, I can't stress this enough. It is OEM fitment. However, you do still have to drill some holes so the OEM pins as well as screws can fit into it. Now, you do end up not using the OEM heat guard here, which is the big black thing in the middle, as well as the little dampeners that are by the hinges. It's just unfortunate, but that's the whole reason why you rock some hood pins afterwards. I obviously haven't mocked this up yet, but I can already tell I'm gonna need a few holes. I'm not exactly sure what these things do. I'm probably some sort of like rain, whatever. But there's a lot of holes in it I gotta drill. So firstly, a couple here is these guys, because those will hold the windshield washer fluid kind of things. Or actually, it's probably the sensors if anything. And then all these things I think is actually for weight reduction. That's why they're cut, but then obviously those, and then these guys are just kind of like little stoppers. So now in terms of this guy, I would assume I'm gonna have to do the same thing with that too. Fortunately, I was able to take off the OEM hood myself, but when placing a new hood on, it's actually a lot more difficult than what you would think. So it is recommended that you use 2 or more people for this, at least to screw it onto the hangers of the chassis. After that, it's pretty much just aligning the body panels up. It is a little scary because it's a lot lighter. Seems a lot flimsier, but man, holy crap, bro. Who would have ever guessed I'd have a 435 with carbon fenders and a carbon fiber CTS hood? I could tell you this, I would have never. This car has come such a long way and it looks incredible. Everybody breaks their necks when this car drives by. It's not your normal 435i anymore. It is a full, almost carbon 435i. And yes, I could have put that money into an M4, but this looks so badass. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. Sadly, this not much more to do. Like, I mean, I don't really want to do more to it unless I kind of figure out something to do. But let me know in the comments what you would want to see me do to the 435. And then besides power, because I already could do turbo and stuff, but just like, what would you like to see from it? What would you like to see done to it? Now, on top of that, again, shout out to Ty's Auto Performance in Connecticut. Great guy, great customer service, even better of a friend now. He's the reason I have this hood. So go shop at his place. Freaking awesome stuff. And well, for those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. And this is the full bolt-on, almost full carbon fiber 435i.